Good evening. Once again, we return to the story of Kais, Spell Sword, Dunmer, Eternal Champion, former agent of the Emperor, current head of the Blades in Vordenthal, Auditor of the Great Houses, Nerevarine. Currently debating about doing a moving day, so somebody in chat advised that there is a bug in this house, and I will lose any items that I put inside of it. So as much as I would like to drop these things off, I think... Oh. I think I should probably be careful and not lose my precious alchemy equipment. Now when I take a look at my notes, I seem to only have 2 tasks at the moment. One is to check in with the East Empire Company, and then the next is to retrieve the Totem of Clon, Fang, to the southeast. Might be an idea to get some rest. Looks pretty bright out though. Oh yeah, it's 10 in the morning.
The Totem of Clon Fang is located in the Tombs of Scalara, located east and a bit south of the Skull Village.
So as much as I would like to check out the That was quick. See, I would prefer to check out the East Empire Company as soon as possible, but it seems like the tomb is close. So we'll make a good faith effort to find it. And if it doesn't turn out, then I'm happy to head back. Okay, I had some moves on him.
How does it feel to know death?
Either these folks just got a lot weaker or I got a lot stronger. Alright, we're pretty far east at this point, so... I have a haunting fear that I've recorded this at a very low bit rate. But I'm not going to change anything until, if there's a crash, I'll handle it, but I don't want my paranoia to get in the way of the flow.
You will die where you stand.
So at this point, we're well off the path. Whoa! What's your story? I've encountered my first wandering lunatic. I can handle ghosts. Alright, so at this point I think the most natural thing to do is just head north, unless there's any interesting landmarks. And if I don't find the tomb, then that's something to take care of on a return journey. In fact, with the current state of things, one thing I might consider is just teleporting back to Bloodmoon. So this is due east. So yeah, at this point I think probably the best thing I can do, I've already got things I need to drop off anyway, so we'll head back to Balmora. I can stop by the East Empire Company on my way. And then once that's done, I can focus my attention on the totem. Actually, while we're reloading textures, I'm going to take a quick second just to verify the settings are where I want them to be. Great. Good. Sorry to do that part way through. I think I also need to admit that I'm probably not going to find the first book of Bone, so...
Bone Part 2 by Tavi Dromio. What do you mean the story gets more appalling? Gratz was incredulous. How in Boethiah's name could it get more appalling? It's a ruse, Xiomara scoffed, ordering 2 more mugs of grief and a glass of Flynn for Garaz. How much worse can a tale get which prominently features cannibalism, abuse of slaves, and the regular placement of rotting animal carcasses? Don't you dare me, growled Halgard, annoyed by his listener's lack of appreciation of his prose styling. Remind me where we were. Arslik Owen is the owner of a stronghold under siege by savage cannibalistic Nords, said Xiomara, keeping a straight face. After a lot of deaths and several unsuccessful attempts to get water, he had his armorer with the unlikely name of Gorkith outfit his slaves with first ever bone mold armor. One of them finally makes it back with some water. It was only 1 jar full of water, said Halgard, pulling back his chair and continuing the tale. And Arslik Owen drank the most of it, passing the remains to his dear armorer Gorkith and the last dribbles to a few dozen slaves who still lived. It was hardly enough to sustain health and well-being. Another expedition was necessary, but they only had 1 suit of bone mold left, as there was only 1 survivor of the trip. 1 out of 18 slaves made it through the gauntlet of Nords wearing that marvelous bone mold armor of yours, said Arslik Owen to Gorkith, and only one can carry back enough. And one can only carry back enough water for 1. Therefore, mathematically, as we have, counting you and me, 56 remaining people at the stronghold, we need armor for 54. Since we already have 1, you only need to make 53 to make the total. That way, 3 will make it back with enough water for you and me and whoever's in the best condition to partake. I don't know what we'll do after that, but if we wait, we won't have enough slaves to fetch even a couple days' worth of water. I understand, whimpered Gorkith, but how am I going to make the armor? I used all the livestock bones to make the first batch of bone mold. Arslik Owen gave an order which Gorkith fearfully complied with in 18 hours. What do you mean Arslik Owen gave an order which Gorkith fearfully complied with? Asked Xiomara. What was the order? All will be clear, smiled Halgard. I have to choose what to reveal and what to conceal, such is the way of the tale-teller. In 18 hours, Gorkith had 53 suits of bone mail, said Halgard, continuing, not really minding the interruption, prepared for the slaves. Without prompting, he ordered the slaves to practice using the armor, and even allowed them more training time than their predecessors. They not only learned how to move and stop quickly in bone mold, but how to adjust their peripheral vision to see a blow before it came, and sway to dodge, and where the sturdiest reinforcement points on the arm were, and the center of the chest and abdomen, and how to position themselves to take blows there against their natural instincts. The slaves even had time for a mock battle before being sent out among the cannibals. The slaves handled themselves admirably. Very few, just 15 slaves, were killed and eaten outright. Only 10 were killed and eaten when they reached the river. That was when things did not go according to Arslik Owen's plans. 21 slaves with jars of water took off for the hills. Only 8 returned to the castle, largely because they were blocked by the cannibal Nords. It was a larger percentage than he had anticipated surviving, but Arslik Owen felt righteous indignation at the paucity of loyalty. Are you absolutely certain you wouldn't rather flee? He hollered at from the battlements. Finally, he allowed the survivors in. 3 had been killed waiting for the gate to open, 2 more died almost upon stepping into the courtyard. One was delirious, walking around in circles, laughing and dancing before suddenly collapsing. This meant 5 jars of water for 4 people, the 2 surviving slaves, Arslik Owen and Gorkith. As the lord of the manor, Arslik Owen took the extra jar, but he was democratic with the others. You're quite correct, frowned Garaz. The story is getting more and more appalling. Just wait, smiled Halgard. The next morning, Halgard continued, Arslik Owen woke to a perfectly still and quiet stronghold. There was no murmuring in the corridors, no sound of hard labor in the courtyard. He dressed and surveyed the scene. It appeared that the fortress was utterly deserted. Arslik Owen walked down to the armorer's quarters, but the door was locked. Open up, said Arslik Owen patiently. We need to speak. 30 out of 54 slaves successfully made it to the river and gathered water. Admittedly, some then fled, and a couple didn't survive because they needed to correct their fickleness. But mathematically, that's 55% the survival rate. If you and I and the 2 remaining slaves made the next run to the river, we too should survive. Zillian and Gello left last night with their armor, cried Gorkith through the door. Who are Zillian and Gello? The 2 remaining slaves. They don't remain anymore. Well, that's vexing, said Arslik Owen. Still, we must continue on. Mathematically, I heard something last night, whimpered Gorkith in a funny voice. Like footsteps, only different, and they were moving through the walls. And there were voices, too. They sounded strange, like they couldn't move their jaws very well, but I knew one. Arslik Owen sighed, humoring the poor armorer. And who was it? Ponic. And who is Ponic? One of the slaves that died when the Nords poisoned our water. One of the many, many slaves that died, and we made use of. He was always nice, a nice, uncomplaining fellow. That's why I noticed his voice above all the others. Gorkith began to sob. I understood what he was saying. Which was what? Said Arsenic Owen with a sigh. Give me back my bones! Gorkla's voice shrieked. There was silence for a moment, and then more hysterical sobbing. I saw that coming, laughed Zyomara. There was nothing more to be done with the armor for the time being, said Halgard, a trifle annoyed at the regular interruptions. So Arsenic Owen stripped one of the dead slaves of his suit of bone mold and put it on. He practiced in the courtyard, impressing himself with his comfortably with medium-weight armor. For hours he boxed, feinted, dodged, sprinted, skipped, jumped, and generally cavorted about. When he tired, he retired to the shade and took a nap. The sound of the king's trumpet woke him with a start. Night had fallen, and for a moment he thought that he had been dreaming. Then the alarm sounded again, far in the distance, but clear. Arsenic Owen leapt to his feet and ran to the ramparts. Several miles away he could see emissaries and their vast, well-armed escort approach. They were there early. The cannibal lords below looked at one another with consternation. Savages they might be, but they knew a superior force was approaching. Arsenic Owen joyously dashed down the stairs to Gorklith's chamber. The door was still locked. He beat on it, cajoling, demanding, and threatening. Finally, he found a key, one of the few scraps of metal that had not been smelted days before. Gorklith appeared to be sleeping, but as Arsenic Owen approached, he noticed that the armorer's mouth and eyes were wide open, and his arms were folded unnaturally behind his back. On closer inspection, the armorer was obviously dead. What was more, his face and whole body were sunken like an empty pig's bladder. Something moved through the walls, like a football, only squishy. Arsenic Owen expertly and gracefully turned to face it, completely in balance. At first it seemed like nothing more than a bauble expanding through one of the cracks in stone. As more of the flesh-colored gelatinous matter emerged, it more clearly resembled part of a face. A flaccid, almost shapeless face with a low brow and a slack, toothless jaw. The rest of the body oozed out of the crack, a soft bag of muscle and blood. Behind Arsenic Owen and to the side there was more movements. More slaves welling up through the cracks in the stone. They were all around him, reaching out. "Give us," moaned Ponic, and his tongue rolling out and his hanging jaw. "Give us back our bones." Arsenic Owen began to rip off his bone mold, throwing it to the floor. 100 figures more pooled into the small chamber. That's not enough. The cannibals had cleared away by the time the king's emissaries arrived at Arsenic Owen's gates. They had not been looking forward to the visit. It was best, they thought philosophically, to begin with the worst of the king's noblemen, and so to end their trip well. They sounded the alarm once again, but the gates did not open. There was no sound from Arsenic Owen's stronghold. It took a few hours to gain access. If the emissaries had not brought a professional acrobat with them for entertainment, it might have even taken longer. The place seemed to be abandoned. They searched every room until finally they came to the armorer's. There they found the master of the manor, folded neatly, legs behind his head, arms behind his legs, like a fine gown, not a bone in his body. "The first part of your story was complete nonsense," cried Zyomara. "But now it doesn't even hold true on any level. How could bone mold be made again if the armorer who invented it died before he could tell anyone how he did it?" "I said this was the first time it was created, but not the first time people learned the craft." "And when did someone first teach someone else the craft?" asked Garaz. "That, my friends," replied Halgard with a sinister smile, "is a tale for another night."
So unless we find some books in... Oh. I didn't realize I had another book. But we've already read that one. As always, we'll start with the Magicka. So I don't have enough vampire dust to do anything with it. And I still have some ash salt, so I think I'm going to use the Comberry, or not the Comberry, the Belladonna for that. So let's see if I can find any drain agility first. Nope, so the last I could do would be a cure blight disease, which I don't think we have, but... Alright, so getting rid of bone meal is a pretty high priority, so drain fatigue and personality. So let's start with drain personality. Alright. So, I'm gonna save these, I guess these top 4. So ideally I'm gonna be combining it with things I find on the continent. No luck. Alright, so the rest of this is just clearing out the inventory. Well, this is a pretty mighty mace. $30 to $90. Question is if I want to be holding around weight 90. Where did I even get this thing? Turns out there is a limit to the amount of damage I'm willing to do. if there's anything else I need to be running around with. Not really. So I won't mess around with soul gems. This time I'll just do my trading and head back to Solstheim. Sorry, there's just something happening on my other monitor that sometimes when I use a scroll wheel it causes problems.
Aren't you a sight? What can I do?
I am never too
You
busy.
have my ear.
It's very nice how friendly everyone is, but I gotta get out of here. I suppose one thing I can do on this trade is also get rid of any potions that, or buy any materials that'll help me get rid of bone mold. Or bone meal. Alright, so Frost will help me. So let's start with anything that's drain fatigue and drain personality. Big order, but actually probably bought a little too much of everything, but I'll worry about that later.
All right, I'm in.
There's fewer and fewer of these things that I can sell.
How does the
So before I go any further, I'll just get the I'll get the alchemy done again, but I'm only gonna bring a select.
Yes, Outlander, how do you do?
Yeah, I'll only bring a select
ours is to ask?
Select number of reagents. I can probably get more comberries from the Mage's Guild, but the question is whether or not the time is worth it. Yeah, you know what? I lied, I'll get the rest. I know what my main targets are though, so we'll start with the bone mold. I think that's it. The Daedra Heart I want to use for Restore Magicka. Although I should have checked that ahead of time because I had a bunch of void salts too, so I could have used it otherwise. All right. I don't think there's anything else for me here. Yeah, we more or less handled the rest. Depending on how many potions I have left, I'll probably give it pick up the comberry just so I can clear out a few more. We'll see what weapons I can sell off over here.
What should we talk about?
I wonder if I can get away with it. Yep. I don't have anything to sell her, so no point.
How delightful. Welcome.
Well, it's a start.
You're in good company, friend. Welcome.
So one last trip for alchemy. Again, this would have been a trip to bring all my materials to Solstheim, but I don't want to run the risk that we spend all that time and then lose the Grandmaster tools because they're not the easiest things to come by. I suppose I could have taken a look for anything else that I could use on the bone meal, but it's not that big of a priority. So now I'll just try and sell off whatever I can to the armorers and general merchants, and then we'll head back to Solstheim to see what's up with the East Empire Company. Oh, and we've already sorted this out. We don't have any other armor to sell, so it's just the general merchants that I care about. Flooding the Balmoral market with poison. Probably could have got away with selling one fewer. I also should have been looking at what the heaviest. So, for instance, the strain fatigue is heavier. I guess it doesn't really matter. Now, just for my curiosity, I'd kind of like to see what, how much the junk potions are taking up. Sorry, I should look at the. Alright, so we're at 315. I feel like I lost something there. So I'm not counting the surplus fortify speed and strength as a waste, because I do actually use those. So when you restore fatigue with weight counts as junk. So I am carrying 20 worth of junk potions. Admittedly, like the alcohol, like the sheen, is probably the worst of it. Still, actually, with that in mind, I know this merchant doesn't have a lot, but we can get rid of the more egregious. Hello, Amazingly. I would like to go to Alderaan, please.
How about sharing the wealth? I want to share. Oh, greetings. How about sharing the wealth?
Silt Strider to cool, please.
We make a special trip just for you. Same low price.
It's already a bit dark. Oh yeah, it's already 8. Well, I guess it's a bunch of night missions.
Hurry, last boat to Solstheim. Until the next one. Greetings! Are you in need of transport? Severe will gladly take you to Fort Frostmourth in Solstheim for a small fee.
How long does it take? Remember, it takes 6 hours to travel next time. Well, at least I got rid of my standards.
Well met, friend.
What is it, Steward? Is this about your current assignment? Actually, you can make yourself useful, Steward. It's a menial task, but it needs to be done. I've spent a great deal of money ensuring that supplies are delivered from the mainland, and I'd like you to go sure that everything is in order. The supply ship arrived this morning according to my schedule. Get me a copy of the shipping manifest from Falco, will you? On your way, then. Carnius asked me to go to the Raven Rock and see Falco. He wants me to get a copy of the shipping manifest from the first supply ship.
Without me, it all falls to pieces. Stuck here. Do you want something?
You will die where you stand!
Suppose I should feel bad attacking them, only to ignore the loot, but I'd rather not have to try and work around the holly bush. So I'm going to have to assume that there's probably something up at Raven Rock that doesn't involve the shipping manifest. But assuming that that's all that I have to do, well, there's the boat. I'll head straight to the tomb after that. Well, not straight to the tomb, I have to find it, but...
Hello, Caius. Are you here on assignment, or did you just stop by?
I'm on assignment.
Shipping manifest? I'd give it to you if I had it, Caius. No ship has arrived. It may have something to do with the fact that Carnius never said anything about putting in a dock. So where would a ship of that size land? I'm a little help. I've spent all my time making sure that construction proceeds smoothly, so I haven't seen anything. Check with the men. Perhaps one of them can tell you more. As I said, I haven't been watching for a ship. Ask around and see if anyone has seen anything.
Braldar is gone, but we have other problems.
Now call me crazy, but... That's a house. rather not take out the supplies for the, I guess there's no supply store.
Hello, guys. What is it?
You see the ship?
What? I don't know anything about a ship.
Another day, another 100 vials of ore.
We think alike. So, Gammon, heard anything about a boat?
Well, maybe I did see something now that you mention it. Night before last, I saw a light off in the north to the northwest. Though maybe it was a reaver boat or a raiding party or something, and I wasn't about to go check it out. But maybe that was our supply ship. Gammon Gareth claims to have seen a light off the coast of the northwest. Perhaps it's the supply ship. I should get this information to Falco.
Rock me, Amadeus.
A light northwest of here. Well, I guess that could be it, though I can't imagine how they've managed to miss the colony. Can you go and take a look? We're not desperate for supplies, but they were supposed to deliver a shipment of picks that will make our work much easier.
Well, it couldn't get worse, could it?
I don't know, you tell me.
Falco's asked me to head to the northwest to look for the supply ship, as it carries mining equipment that the colonists need.
Alright, so this shouldn't be too arduous just because it's a ship, it's going to be on the coast. Although I do seem to remember there were quite a few enemies. It does probably give me a chance to explore this little bit of the map, though.
You should have picked an easier opponent.
So you say. I don't think that was a supply ship, but... No, that was it. I thought that was there before. Oh, those Nords, they didn't leave them with anything. Good work, lady.
Get them away! Get them away! The horrid things!
You killed them. They're all gone? Don't leave me here. You've got to let me go with you. Oh, you just can't leave me. No one would be that heartless. I'd freeze to death out here. I don't know what I was thinking, hitching a ride on a supply ship in the first place. Who appoints a wood elf a captain of a ship? I should have known better. And then that horrible crash. And now they're all dead and the supplies are ruined. I just want to get warm. Oh, please take me with you.
Follow me.
Oh, thank you. There isn't even any food left to survive on. Most of the supplies are gone. Well, I guess you could just take me to whomever your boss is. I mean, I hope you're not offended that I'm assuming that you're not the boss. It's just that people tend to be the bosses, who tend to be the bosses of things, usually don't wander around the countryside looking for people to help. They send other people to do those sorts of things, don't they? Hey, come on, we're not going any. How come we're not going anywhere yet?
See if we can dodge the bear. I'm sure she'll be delighted to see the snow. Right, that's the stone.
I just can't thank you enough for rescuing me from that horrible shipwreck, Caius. I'm sure I'll have a delightful time here in the colony. I do hope that the people here are nice and like to chat.
Well, if it isn't you again, I dare say you're one of the nicest people I met. And that's saying quite a lot.
I just can't thank you enough for rescuing me from that horrible shipwreck, Caius. I'm sure I'll have a delightful time here in the colony. Oh, Caius, are you here on assignment, or did you just stop by?
I brought you another worker.
Have you seen anything? Can you tell me any more about the ship? Wrecked. Are you sure? Well, then there's little more that can be done. At least a single survivor made it, and I told Carnius that it was a bad idea to take the lowest bidder, and that this was too important not to take seriously. Well, at least you've solved that mystery, Caius. Thank you for looking into it. You just need to make sure that word gets to Carnius. If only we had those pickaxes. You did the right thing by bringing her here, Caius. Yes, there were several miners' picks that were supposed to be sent over. We can manage without the other things, but we really need those to make any decent progress in the mine. Did you happen to check the wreckage? There's always a chance that a few of the supplies survived the wreck. Well, if you come across any, I'll be willing to pay you to deliver them here. Keep that in mind, will you?
I did originally want to check the ship, but when she said the supplies were ruined, I assumed that was a trigger to say that I couldn't check the ship. My bad. The sun's actually rising while I'm recording, so this is a nice little bit of, it's comparable to what I'm seeing outside my window right now. No, I didn't think I was going to find any picks inside there. thing I forgot to do back in Balmora. Bring a short sword. Oh, that's pretty.
Well, it seems you've come across several of them. I can afford to take 6 of those off your hands. I hope 500 gold for each is sufficient. I believe there's quite a bit more than it's quite a bit more than their actual worth, but we do need them. Thank you, Caius. I won't be requiring any more, I don't think.
Too bad about the ship. Not your fault, though.
Any other assignments?
You've already told me about the ship. Just make sure news of it gets to Carnius.
Fair enough. And I certainly don't have any use for these picks. So I'll be a helpful sort and, unless he took all the picks. I guess there's no way to search my inventory, so... How about an apprentice pick? Huh. I was gonna dodge the Spriggan, but guess it gives me some more resist magicka. Didn't even get any pelts out of it. That's more like it.
The pleasure is all mine.
That was worth a shot.
you want something from
What is it, steward? Is this about your current assignment? What? It's gone? This is unacceptable. After the money I spent on this venture... Fine, another ship will have to be sent for. Well, it'll just stand there. The longer I look at you, the longer I have to think about it. Just take this and go away. Come back in a few days.
Let's talk about advancement first. Oh, right, promotion.
Very well. You're now Caius, fixer of the East Empire Company.
I want more.
You've got the qualifications, but you haven't done enough to prove to me that you're ready. Complete another assignment or two, and then we'll talk.
Fair enough. So we'll head back to the Skull Village and see if we can find that tomb. I don't think I have any, Oh, that's right, I do have something I can sell at the storehouse. It's worth a shot. Pretty much have to go straight north here, so in fact this is going to be pretty egregious, but I will pick up one of my fortify speeds. I'm a little curious. Better than moon sugar. Bet you can jump over the river now. It's not the tomb, is it? Nope. Bye guys, bye guys. Alright. Let me just update my notes.
Totem Clon Fang is located in the tombs of Scalara, located east and a bit to the south of the Skull Village.
So this is about as far east as we can get here. Probably not to restore strength off of that. This looks promising. Yep. You guys don't lose any time. Really like ripping into my shield, don't they? Probably gonna have to carry more of those if that's the kind of damage they do on blocks. No. Turns out werewolves are very good at detecting. Yeah, that is a meaningful hit.
I've retrieved the Totem of Clon Fang.
Of course, I didn't come here just for the Totem of Clon Fang. Let's make sure the trip is worth my while. Looks like I'm heading down one way or the other. Yeah, there's no sneaking up on this. Curious if I'm not sure whether or not I can get lycanthropy anymore. Some of this stuff I could sell to the... Oh, I do have use for the steel arrow. Some of the stuff I definitely could sell to the merchant in the fort, but obviously I'd like to minimize the number of those trips. At least until I get a notification that the East India Company would like to hear from me again. I think I'll leave those other two alone for a little bit. At least until we're out of the place that rips my shields to shreds. I suppose at one point or another I'm going to have to do the Restore Magicka, either to get back to Balmora or to heal up, but I won't use the potion till I absolutely have to.
You were to retrieve the Totem of Clon Fang, a dangerous mission indeed. Have you been successful?
I have it right here.
You found the totem. This is good news. Please take this as a token of my thanks. I hope that your efforts have not left you too drained, as there is still much to be done. For your efforts, I will share with you some knowledge. The Skal have the ability to summon wolves to fight by our side. Now you too possess this ability. The Restag must now be performed. You've been of a great service to the Skal, and it seems right that you take part in the ceremony. Meet at nightfall with Rolf Longtooth, one of our Skal hunters. You will find him by the western shores of Lake Fjaldring. He will tell you more about the Ristag and the part that you will play in it.
Greetings, Bloodstar. You and I must speak of the Restart.
At some point, we are going to find the commander, right?
Because of my service to the Skull, Windeye believes that it would be good for me to take part in the Ristag. I am to meet with Rolf Longtooth, one of the Skull hunters by the western shores of Lake Fjelding after nightfall. He will then explain how the hunt will take place and what my part in it will be.
I don't have anything to do right now, so I think I'm just going to take a rest. Stupid northern hours. Surely 8 o'clock will be sundown.
Well met. You have cleared my name and restored my honor. What can I do for you, my friend?
Maybe clean up some of these wolves. I didn't think there would be any other lakes, but that would be embarrassing if I did a full circuit and then didn't find who I was looking for. Alright, well, if this isn't after sundown, I don't know what is.
You call this fighting? You have no business
Be gone,
being here, stranger. Leave
We'll
now.
have no dealing.
I don't suppose any of you know Rolf
Be
Longtooth, huh?
gone, stranger.
But you guys ever
I'd
get
like you
cold?
to meet Erna. We have a love my wife will never understand.
So if I did not meet someone after dark, I'd be heading to Belmora now, but... This is Lake Felding. This is indeed the West. I don't remember what kind of creature I can put in the Lesser Soul Gem, but I'm pretty sure there is at least one. Well, it's nice to pick on something that's not enormous. It's a nice touch. I didn't know you could destroy, I did not know that you could destroy people's, equipment. Alright, one last pass. Alright. I'm gonna rest for another hour.
Stay with Longtooth, Bloodskull. The Restog must be completed.
This isn't exactly the shore.
Greetings, Caius. Korst Windeye has told me much about you. You are to perform the Ristag with us, pleasing the Allmaker. He's the shaman of our village, a very wise man. He has a powerful magic and keen insight. Seek him out in times of confusion.
Tell me more about this ritual.
In the Ristag, we hunt the spirit bear that is conjured by the Totem of Clon, Fang. When it is slain, we will return its heart back to Windeye, who will ask for the blessings of the Allmaker. If the Ristag fails, or does not succeed by daybreak, the Allmaker will be displeased. You will help ensure our success, friend. You will act as my second. You are to stay with me at all times during the Ristag and follow my instructions exactly. You have proven your value to the skull, but now you must allow me to guide you through this night. I'm to stay with Longtooth during the hunt and to follow his instructions exactly.
You're a long way from civilization, pilgrim.
No kidding. So,
Shh. We must hunt carefully and quietly. There is no time to talk. Do you hear it? It came from this, from near Satyr and the Bold Plath. Go get him, Caius, and make sure he is well. Then return to me so that we may complete the hunt. I found the corpse of Satyr the Bold, one of the other hunters involved in the Ristag. I should return to Longtooth and let him know what has happened. Satyr is dead. This is a bad omen. These creatures are dark spirits indeed, and they'll try to disrupt the hunt. We will not allow this to happen. The loss of Satyr is great, but we must continue. Let us go. Longtooth fears that there are werewolves in the woods and that they will try to disrupt the Ristag. I should continue following him.
I have not started following him. See a little confused there, Rolf.
What was that? Blast, the creatures are everywhere. Quick, find Jared Axewife. Do not allow the hunt, or Garrett Axewife. Do not allow the hunt to be disrupted. I will wait for your return.
I mean, we already know what's happened. I didn't actually see where she went, so this might take a little effort. Especially when it's all my so many bodies that I've left on the ground.
Gririd Axewife is dead as well. I must report this to Longtooth.
Where'd your torch go?
Axewife is dead. No, she was a good warrior and a good friend. We will not let this stop us, though. We too will continue until the Ristag is complete.
Close call.
We've defeated those creatures and honored our fallen comrades. Now, though, we must find the Spirit Bear and return its heart to Windeye. You have proven yourself a valiant warrior. You shall lead the way for the rest of the Ristag. Longtooth and I were attacked by werewolves, but were able to kill them. We must now find the spirit bearer and return its heart to Windeye.
Well, where's the damn bear? Just let me get... Hey, how many companions did I lose there, Rolf?
You have the heart. This is good. Return it now to the village and give the heart to Windeye. You've done well tonight, Caius. Rolf Longtooth calls you friend. I will remain here in these woods for a time. The Allmaker has chosen you to finish this journey alone. Good luck to you.
The spirit bear is dead, and the Rishtag is nearly complete.
You were to assist in performing the Rishtag. Have you been successful? You have the heart. You've done well, as the Skal have come to expect of you. Your efforts are not unappreciated. Allow me to teach you more of the Skal magic. The ritual I teach you now will allow you to summon a bear to your side to aid you in battle. You have earned this, Blood Skal. For now, I fear that we must speak more of the ominous signs that have appeared on the island. There have been many, though I've been reluctant to speak of them. The coming of the werewolves, the fire on the lake, and now I've been told that the northern shores are a scene of a massacre. Many Horkers are dead. The shores are littered with corpses, and the death of the Horkers has not been explained. All of these things are suggested in the bloodmoon prophecy.
Tell me more about this prophecy.
I have no desire to speak loudly of this ancient legend. Who knows what the ancestors learned about the coming of the bloodmoon? For now, let us watch and wait, and let the Allmaker protect us.
What do you want me to do then? Can you at least point me to the... I guess we're just giving up on,
The Rishtag is complete. Praise be to the Allmaker.
Windeye was pleased that the Rishtag was successful. He has taught me more of the Skal magic in return for my efforts. I am now able to call a bear to aid me in times of need. The Rishtag is completed, but Windeye has been getting reports from his sentries of ominous signs. He tells me that the shores are filled with dead Horkers. He knows no reason why this should happen.
well, I guess in the absence of anything else to do, I can stop by the northern shores. I'd been thinking I actually should have, yeah, you know what? I am gonna go back to Balmora. What time is it? 1 p.m. It'll be night by the time I get back, but...
Have you learned more about the death of the Horkers yet, or the involvement of Karstig and his sprinkling minions?
That's news.
We must find out what happened. Perhaps this is a sign of the prophecy, perhaps not. I prefer to think that it is the work of mortals. I would have you travel to Castle Karstag and confirm my suspicions. It's a castle made of ice in the northwest part of Solstheim. There lives a frost giant, Karstag. The Skal have lived in peace with this monster for many years, but we have heard nothing from this giant for some time. This slaughter could be the workings of the Rakelings who serve him. Go there and find out what you can. You will not be allowed in the main entrance, but we have recently discovered an entrance to the waters north of the castle. Good luck to you, Bloodskull.
Alright, I'm gonna head back to Balmora first. Alright, so plague wolves are good for the gem. So let's take a look at one thing I want to do is take a look at what traits I want to improve and then what skills I can move up. So good for axe, good for long blade. Now a spear works with endurance, that'll be really good. Apparently we're already... Oh no, that's later. It's now either short blade or spear, so let's see what my options are there. Ah, it's a two-handed. Alright. So I will bring it. But I should bring a short sword just in case, and I think I set one aside. Yep. It's a tough call, actually. Maybe I do want to just drop the... Okay, well, let's see if I can get training in my, my spear first, actually. Alright. I'm going to do this in a slightly different order this time.
Dunmer.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
I'm actually going to start with Restore Agility. There's a few things I know I'm going to get no matter what. Alright, that gives me a start. Now I get to the fun bit. See how many of these I can claw back. I think I went a little overboard there. Alright, well, that's fine. I'll pick up some Comberry before I go too much further.
Tidings and goodwill.
So we'll see if we can get any spear training in the Fighters Guild as well as some buying and selling.
May you find me.
Well, I find myself in pleasant company. Please share your thoughts.
Great.
With pleasure. Please, go ahead. I'm all ears.
I should check in at the colony to see if there's anything I can do. So,
I would like to continue my training, but this is a good opportunity for me to kind of have it both ways.
I'd be happy to talk.
I must say, I find you.
Welcome. I feel it.
An honor, to be sure. Well, I find myself in pleasant company. Please share your thoughts.
Wouldn't have respected them if they took that offer. There we go.
May you walk on warm sands.
Paralyze is kind of helpful, even if I just still wind up selling it. Alright, so frost well, yeah, see, I'm not going to be able to do much with this. Frost damage resist frost, but recall or blind, and I know recall and blind are not available for any of these others. Alright, well, not much to be done about that, so...
Welcome. If you wish.
I don't think we have any oh, no, hang on, we do. I never really know what this stuff is worth. Let's see if I can sell off the heaviest. Actually, you know what? It's going to take as much time to sort out what's heavy and what's not. Thought for a second that was raw glass that I'd sold that guy. There's one thing I can do to try and help with my surplus. I'm gonna head back to the alchemists and see if we can work out other trades.
An honor, to be sure. I must say, I find you most interesting right now. Please go ahead.
Alright, so the scuttle will give me restore, fortify, feather, and telekinesis. Drain personality, water walking, or restore. Actually, water walking would be kind of helpful, so let's see if we can get any of that. Seven's perfect. So I'm gonna guess there's nothing related to the bristleback leather, so blind, frost damage, resist frost, and recall. And of course it'd be wonderful if I could get something like Fortify Speed or Fortify Strength, but those are a bit harder to find. And it really doesn't cost that much. I guess I could buy back some of the the cheap stuff, but honestly at this point, I'll just pay the 11.
Greeted friend, welcome.
Alright. So except for the bristleback leather and the horker tusk, the rest of this is actually useful to me.
An honor, to be sure.
So if ever I find myself without something to do, I can always come back to Balmora for more spear training. No, that's one of mine. I am an idiot. Alright, so fortify speed and fortify strength. At this point, why not? I would have thought there'd be at least some kind of a hide in here. Guess not. So here I'm sitting on a fairly decent amount of low weight restore magicka. So I'm gonna start selling off some of the heavy stuff. Probably get away with more. And I've lost it.
An adventure.
I probably could have done better, but I don't want to spend too much time working the angles.
too busy.
Hail, Dunmer. Do you need something?
Alright, so things are a little more tidy on the alchemy front. Oh, I forgot I still have razor plumes. I definitely could have gotten rid of some of that. So I'm gonna keep the journeyman's hammer. I know they're heavy, but they will help me. Also, depending on how many werewolves I run into, I'm gonna go through them pretty quickly. And I think we are ready to go back to Solstheim.
Hail, Dunmer.
I see join land suits you.
There is our mascot.
You're in good company, friend.
Alderaan, please. It's not a huge return, but it might as well get a little
Greetings. How do you do? May we talk?
something for my efforts. Oh wait, no, I sold all my it's only the Restore Magicka that I'm getting rid of now, so I don't need to worry about that.
I must say, I find you most interesting right now.
To cool, please.
Why walk when you can ride?
Greetings, are you in need of transport? Severe will gladly take you to Fort Frostmoth and Solstheim for a small fee.
Alright, so we have a little bit of a journey ahead, I suspect. We'll see what the East Empire Company wants.
How can I help you?
Stay as long as you like.
Do you want something? Stuck here forever.
What is it, Fixer? Is this about the current assignment? I still don't have anything for you to do, Fixer. Go bother Falco if you must.
Without me, it all falls to pieces. Stuck here forever. Do you want something?
I like it.
I think that's the first time we've told to go check in with Falco. That is when it's not an assignment. Oh, I have a use for these. Just one, though. it's gonna take a while. Oh wow, this thing's fast. So it doesn't do as much damage, I don't think. Yeah, 10 to 30, but it's a pretty reasonable rate of attack. After whatever mission this is, I think we'll do another speedy run to the north. Although again, it's a chance for me to explore some parts of the map I haven't looked at yet.
Whether you know it or not, Caius, you have arrived at a crossroads. If he hasn't already, I'm sure Carnius will approach you before long. He will attempt to draw you into his plans for this colony, and though I do not know what they are, I know they will be carried out at the expense of the hard-working people of this colony. Rather than see you fall prey to his greed, I hope that you would give consideration to aiding me in making Raven Rock a better place for us all.
I'm interested.
I can reveal to you that the true reason I took this position was to counter whatever schemes Carnius may have. I want to see this colony succeed, Caius, and I believe that you can help me see that it does. I shall give you some time to think it over. Let me know when you're ready to make a choice. Falco has asked me to help him keep Carnius in check as the colony grows. I should be careful in taking sides, but he wants me to consider aiding him.
Let's do it.
Have you decided to do what is right, Caius?
Yes.
Excellent. I'm glad to have you working with me. From now on, every future assignment you are given will come from me. Well, I don't have a real assignment for you, but perhaps you could help me with something else. I have a difficult decision to make, and your input would be valuable to me. Raven Rock is expanding nicely despite the heavy ore quotas. The heavy ore quotas Carnius has insisted on. It's time we build something other than housing, and the funds are available to build either a smithy or a trader's outpost. I'm having a difficult time deciding which would suit us better, and I'd value your opinion. Take some time to think it over, and talk to the workers if you'd like, and come back when you've made up your mind. I've agreed to help Falco. I should report to him for assignments from now on. I've been asked on my opinion as to whether a smith or a trader should be brought into the colony. I should ask the colonists what they think and then report my decision. Another day, another 100 piles of ore. What can I do for you, Caius? Well, if you ask me, we need a smith here. If the equipment breaks down, we could just get it fixed here instead of shipping it off to the mainland. But that's just my opinion.
It's my thinking too.
Is it you again? I dare say you're one of the nicest people I met. And that's saying quite a lot.
You're asking me? Well, gee, it's nice to know that you think I'm important. I think it would be great if there were a place where I could go shopping and buy some nice new clothes, but maybe something that isn't wool, you know? I'm a very big fan of wool, of course, but after a while it gets a little itchy and it starts to smell.
What do you think about the decision?
I don't know that I really care either way, to be honest. I guess I'd have to say a trader would be better to have, since I could buy all sorts of things here.
See, I was most inclined towards a smith for the practical reasons, but if the majority wants the trader...
Yes, guys, what is it? Tough question. I think I'd rather see a trader here. Maybe that way more people would be interested in stopping by, then maybe some of them might want to stay, and that would make the workload lighter for us all.
Alright, fair point.
Excuse me, Sarah, but, well, you're the Nerevarine and a big hero. But I don't normally know how to talk to important folk like you, except to say thank you, Sarah, for everything.
Oh, apparently I can't ask you about the decision. Never mind. I don't suppose you know where Captain Carius is. Alright, ideally I'd get to a high spot just to make sure that there aren't any other opinions that I missed. That looked like someone in the distance, but I think he wanted the smith, she wanted the trader. He didn't really care. He wanted a trader. I guess there were only the three people that I brought along.
Need to get back to Fort Frostmoth? Wouldn't you rather take a boat than walk? My price is reasonable.
I'm good. I was just thinking about opinions for the colony. Alright. I also just want to take a second here and I want to check out the map. I'm not worried about it right now. I just want to get an idea. I think I'm probably going to go from the glacier on the left. And then head to the castle that way. Again, I'm mostly just trying to think about how to maximize the amount of coverage on the map. It's this spot and this spot that's going to be hard to come up with a natural path for, but I don't know. Move up here hard right, and then go from an angle maybe. I wasn't really thinking about it. Also, just trying to think if there's any other details. Scroll sales. Oh, right. That's from the previous ones. Sorry, I just lost my map. I gotta do a search for it again. I don't understand. I just had it in my history. Well, I just had it on, so it should be in my history. But then again, I opened it a long time ago, so... Okay, there it is. Sorry, as soon as I should have just hit the all history thing. We're good. Hang on. No, it was Smith, trader. Yeah, trader.
So, what do you think, Caius? Which should it be? The smith or the trader?
The trader.
The trader, eh? Well, we can certainly build that, though it will take some time. Are you absolutely sure that's what we should build? Once we invest money in it, we can't change the plans.
Yes, I'm sure.
So be it. I'll get the men started on construction. You take the news to Cardius. I doubt he'll care, but Stendar forbid he doesn't know every little detail of what goes on out here.
Spent so much time looking for the map, and then I'm heading right back to Fort Frostmoth. I could have taken the boat, but for some reason I thought I brought my alchemy gear with me. I'm glad to see that's not the case. It's a gray day. Went too far hoping I could dodge the wolves.
The pleasure is
Ah, well, what can I do? Stuck here forever.
Not now, Fixer. I'm expecting a decision from Falco. It's colony business, and it doesn't concern you. What? Fine, that's fine. I honestly don't care. Just make sure there are no problems. I don't want to be bothered with this again.
You chose Falco. Fine. Just leaves more from me.
Carnius has been informed of the decision regarding the construction plans. I should check back in a few days when the work is done. You chose to ally yourself with Falco and then come to me expecting work? I didn't realize you were that stupid.
Fine, promote me.
You're Falco's little puppet, not mine. Beg him instead. The amenities here are poor at best, certainly nothing like what I'm used to. It's a shrine and an armory, but little else. Raven Rock should change that, however.
Stuck here forever. Keep moving.
The
I may wind up with a promotion, I may not, but at the very least I want to make sure that there's nothing else for Raven Rock before I start heading north. Did occur to me I actually have a really good reason to get more wolf pelts. This, of course, is a bear pelt, but more wolf pelts mean that I can make more of the speed potions. Wow. Didn't even have time to get the combat music started.
Hello, Caius. Are you here on assignment, or did you just stop by? There's nothing for you to do right now, Caius. When the construction is finished, though, you should check in with Carnius.
You're not gonna let me be promoted. Oh, no. Here we go.
Very well. You are now Caius, agent of the East Empire Company.
Thank you. Okay. Just, you know, I think I'll just head straight north until we cover this. I'll basically just have to make special trips. That's fine. It shouldn't be too much of a hardship.
You should have picked an easier opponent.
Some of the tougher enemies. It may become a liability against the werewolves off. Free up a little bit of weight as well as make sure I'm ready for the next fight. if I can, I should also try to get into more fights. It's just a chance for me to get the abilities up. Some doesn't like me. So once these get taken care of, I'm basically just gonna take a look up north to fill in as much as the map as possible, take a detour to the castle, and then I head back to the Skull Village, sort of by the northmost. It'll be an indirect route, but basically the northmost route. I'm gonna have to save and reset. This may have another error that forces me out of the window. If so, we'll just do it without the mods for a little while. Oh, I might have. Alright, I think I messed it up. Alright, anyways, we're gonna run really quickly through this. Just one mod that gets disabled, so it certainly doesn't look too bad. But and while I'm at it, maybe once I get to the... no, we just have one more tile, so once we get to the last tile, I will, I'll do a rest as well. I wonder if it'll let me with, yeah.
ascended to level 52. The results of hard work and dedication always look like luck to saps, but you know that you have earned every ounce of your success.
I don't think it'll let me. Yeah. So I'll see if we can get the mod back. Especially because the sun's out, so it'll look nicer. And this does mean at some point I would like to get back to Balmora, so that I can take advantage of the training. And at this point I'm going to try and outrun them just because, as nice as it is to do some combat, wolves will give me materials that I want. Boars less so. It's a lot of guys coming after me. You're not gonna let me get the bear, are you? Alright, fine. What's the point if you're considering using some destruction spells? I don't know if I've got it yet. I think I do. Sure looks like it at least, so I'm reasonably content. Plus, looks kind of nice. So then that's the entrance they were referring to. No, that was it. It's a small castle. I should probably head back though, because this is the path that I'm going to be taking to... Fine. I know I hate beating up on the little guys. Also, I was wondering why my fatigue was draining. It might be because I have to swing the sword so often now. Under the water. All right. Is a little tempting to check out those. Totally forgot these things are all dead, so free materials for me. Mind you, these are a little more tricky to turn into things. Looks like an entrance.
I've entered the caverns of Karstag, a network of caves that run below the castle.
This Reekling's probably gonna get a lot more anger than I... Hey, get back here.
Whoa, a dark elf. Ugly thing, aren't you? Too tall. What business have you got at Castle Karstag? Make it quick. No time to talk.
I'm investigating the death of the Horkers.
Dead Horkers? Rancid Horker meat. You're asking the wrong guy. I know someone who might be able to help, though, but I've got my own problems.
What are those?
The master, Karstag, that is, has taken off. Gone. Don't know why. Don't know where. Didn't seem like he was coming back, so some of the boys and I figured we'd take over the place. Dulk has been running the show upstairs. Moron, Toady, Master's pet.
Tell me more.
Right, sneak attack from below. Very clever. We even made a deal with a pack of Graal to act as muscle. Didn't work out so well. See, these Graal aren't the most trustworthy. Turned on my guys. Ate them, actually. I'm the only one left. I can't even get upstairs now.
What's upstairs?
Right, neither can you. See, no one can enter the castle without a without the Master Karstag's blessing, which I have. I figure you help me get past the Graal, I'll get you into the castle. You can ask little Dulk anything you want. So come on, let's move it. Inside the caverns, I was greeted by a Reekling named Krish. He tells me that he knows nothing of the dead Horkers, but he may know how I can find out more information. The master of the castle, Karstag, has been missing for days. While he has been gone, Krish and his band have attempted to wrest control of the castle from Dulk, another Reekling loyal to the giant Karstag. Krish has entered into a pact with a band of Graal to help him secure the castle. The Graal, however, have turned on the Reekling, slaughtered his troops, and now block the entrance to the castle above. The magic surrounding the castle allows none to enter without Karstag's blessing. Krish will allow me to enter with him if I am willing to fight his way past these trolls. Once inside, I will be able to question Dulk about the dead Horkers.
Surprise! was gonna be so mad if that turned out to be a dead end.
Castle above may not be entered until permission is granted by the master of the castle. Look, if you want to get upstairs, you gotta help me out. We gotta get rid of these Grawl, all of them. Must be about 8. I'm not leaving here in the basement until, leaving them here in the basement for when I run this place.
Alright, I think we've gotten rid of 3. 1. I want to see what's down there, but... Three. Sorry. You're fine, right? Six. I don't want to waste the magic on healing that guy if I can avoid it, so just try to run really far ahead.
Okay, that's all of them. You can talk to any annoying little Dulk if you want. I'll be right behind you. The ice trolls are defeated. I should now be able to enter the castle with Krish.
He's doing a decent enough job of keeping up. This might be on the way back to the entrance. Maybe not. No, we're fine. It's a lot of ale. I guess this is his place. I shouldn't probably rob it in front of him. Sorry. I'm about to lose my ally. Please come back. moon sugar for dinner, huh? Maybe breakfast. Good lord.
What are you doing here? The master will not be pleased. And you've come in with Krish. Evil, evil Krish. Krish is bad, and you are bad for helping him. What is it you want? You should leave.
I want to know about the death of the Horkers.
This was not our doing. Not even Krish would have done this. He was too busy here. I was too busy here. The master is gone. Gone with the wolves. Big wolves. Evil wolves. Wolves that walk like men. Took the master days ago. No time for fat Horkers. And Dulk did none of this.
This is about him joining the wolves.
Yes, yes, the master is gone. He must return soon. The wolves came and took him away. Big wolves, evil wolves, wolves that walk like men. Left Dulk alone, but the master will be back soon. The master must come back soon. Dulk knows nothing about the dead Horkers. He tells me that his master Karstag disappeared days ago after werewolves appeared at his door. The rest of the giant's minions have been involved in the rebellion at the castle and could not have caused the deaths of the Horkers. I should report these findings to Windeye.
Not that I'm exactly looking to get a lot of bone meal again, but materials are materials. Oh, cool. So again, the plan was to take the northern route to the Skull Village. Now, presumably they're going to have something for me to do, so I may not be able to go straight back to Balmora, but I'll try. There's the village.
You will die where you stand. How does it feel?
That complicates it. I don't have a restored strength anymore, do I? This is dangerous.
It'll be your blood here, not mine.
Thought I should just practice my archery.
Give in. You're dead already.
It says frost damage, but clearly I was getting hit by something else. Yeah, there it is. And looks like we've pretty much got the map. One little bit here and then one in the south. Chance to make the most of that restore magica.
Have you learned more about the death of the Horkers yet, or the involvement of Karstag and his Reekling minions? I feared as much. Even those creatures could not have caused such carnage. This is a bad sign, Caius, and I fear that we have not yet seen the worst. Take this. From what I hear of those Graal, it will be a valuable aid to you. Perhaps it will keep you safe during the troubled times ahead. Now I fear that we must speak more about the Blood Moon prophecy. It is time that we spoke of this. The legend tells of a time that occurs once in each era when a demon god will walk the land in the company of his hounds, creatures of terrible might. He is the hunter, and his coming is preceded by 3 signs. I had prayed that I had misread the signs, misunderstood the prophecy, but I am sure that it is not so.
Well, tell me more about the signs.
The first tells of fire from the Eye of Glass. This we have seen on Lake Fjelding, though I had hoped that it was merely a magic of the Draugr Lord. Next, the prophecy tells us of the Tide of Woe. Even now, our shores are lined with the corpses of Horkers, dead for a reason that we cannot fathom. Finally, the prophecy tells us of the blood moon, when the young moon itself runs red with the blood of the hunter's prey. Look to the skies, Bloodskull. The third sign is upon us, and now we wait for the hunter's game. According to legend, it varies from era to era. Our grandfathers' grandfathers tell of a time when the hunter and his hounds preyed upon entire tribes of men. Taken to the hunting grounds, the men were hunted by the hounds. The ones that died were lucky. The survivors faced the hunter himself. In another era, the hunter took only a single man as his prey. It is said that if the prey can last through the bloodmoon, the hunter returns to his demon realm for another era. We have only to await the hunter's plan. There's little to be done until he lets it be known to us. Certainly it will not be long. I fear for our people, Bloodskull. There's little I can do to protect them in these times. I have only to pray to the Allmaker that he watches over us and keeps us from the hunter's grasp. I have reported my findings to Windeye, who did not seem surprised that the slaughter wasn't performed by the Reeklings. He fears that there are terrible times ahead for Solstheim, and gave me a sword that casts magical fire as a means to protect myself against the coming storm. Of course, Windeye has told me more about the bloodmoon prophecy, that the signs that are foretold within, the fire from the lake of ice, the tide of dead horkers, now the moon itself has turned blood red. He tells me all that remains is the hunter's game. According to legend, the hunter chooses his prey from the ranks of man. Who and how many he chooses varies by the era. Windeye does not know what will happen in the coming days, but he fears the worst. It remains to be seen what the game shall be. As always, it follows the hunter's plan, but there is no way for us to know what this will bring. Gather your strength, Bloodskull. It may be needed in the coming days. We must wait and see. I only pray to the Allmaker that we are not part of this plan.
Alright, well, I'm going to set up here. I'm technically at the end, but it would not be a bad time for me to go a little bit over and get some of my training in. I mean, that's not a terrible weapon. It's actually better than my katana. Probably lighter too. 70. It's not, but I'll bring it along nonetheless. Okay, so I've got a new gem to add to the pile. As always, there's a few priorities to get dealt with first. So I think I can leave the Restore Fatigue from the Kwama eggs for this round. It's just because most of the stuff that I have isn't actually isn't from Vardenfell. So that kind of turned off the opportunity for the Graal eyeball, I think. Yeah, you know what? I don't like my options, so... I'm definitely running short on inventory space, and selling the weapons is only going to partially solve that.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Welcome, friend. The day is yours. What shall we talk about?
I don't even know why. I really should have paid attention to that.
What was I?
I should also be a little more thoughtful. So I do want to clear out the gold for the alchemist just in case. Just in case I get a chance to rest.
How does the day greet you, friend?
So I don't think I have that much as far as potions to sell, but let's do what we can. Restore fatigue has become a little bit more important, but we should be able to get by. I should be a little bit cautious about selling out all my Restore Magicka, but I think the 0.6s I can afford to let go, just because of the amount of space they take up. And help me with the eraser. So I'll have a little bit more that I can do when I get back to the house. Oh, we saw him for a second there. Yeah. Just kind of have the right distance. So clearly this has got to go This has got to go in the pile back home. These have already been dealt with. This has pretty much already been dealt with. I'm gonna turn these into potions. I've done all the repairs that I can, so I need to basically treat this as being the weight that I'll be carrying
You
for the
seem like
next.
very good company.
Hopefully the hunter's waiting for me to train up.
Share your thoughts.
I don't have any potions to sell except the high-level willpower.
Outlander seeks answers.
Greetings, friend.
I did forget, though, that I want to pick up some comberry.
Oh, greetings. How do you do?
And I did mess up with the soul gems because I didn't put the low-value one on the top, but I'm not going to adjust that right now.
Warm day to you, friend.
You know what? Sorry, I lied. Solved. It's kind of unnecessary for me to take all of these items, but I figure I'll just get it out of the way now. So, bear pelt and dagger skin. So as always, we set aside the vampire dust. I don't think I have any drain. Oh, no. Alright, so that should be alchemy sorted for a while. I'll admit it would have been nice to get a little bit
Aren't
more
you a
speed.
sight?
A little bit more spear.
Please join me.
I'll actually maybe see if the Fighters Guild in Alderun has better trainers.
Welcome, if you wish to talk.
If they don't, it's not the end of the world. It'd be nice if I can have the spear as an alternative if I don't think the short sword's doing enough damage.
What did I do to deserve this honor?
Slim pickings for trainers, it seems. Alright. No point in going to Vivek. It's not a make or break problem for me.
I have a feeling that you and I are about to become very...
Let's go to Cool, please.
Why walk when you can run?
And let's get over to Solstheim. Alright, so I don't have any indication that there's activities in the camp for me to work with. I will take a quick minute here and see if there's we'll just see if
What did I do to deserve this honor?
I won't go out to Raven Rock to do any work, but I will see if there's any more tasks.
Trader's almost done? Fine, fine. Now leave me alone.
See? It was worth it. It does take me a little bit off course to seeing this part of the map, but I'll make a special trip.
Stay as long as you like.
And Ripe and Belladonna is usually pretty welcome, but I don't want to have to fight the Spriggan with the short sword, so I'm gonna take the long way around. Looks like it's still alive. I'm pretty sure somewhere along the river we saw the body of the crew member that they were aiming for a burial at sea, but didn't quite land it. Saw a Spriggan back there, so I figured I'd try my luck with running up through these areas. I mean, only part of the job is to actually see the to fill in the parts on the map, it is also good to actually see if there's anything interesting in the area. But, yeah, the last little bit will be that island, but I'll do that after we visit Raven Rock. And of course, presumably Raven Rock's going to have something for me to work with, so... Ah. It looks like there's one last little bit I haven't touched. Alright, let's see if we can get that last little corner. I'll fight a bear if I have to. I'm not going in the water. So if this is still brown, it's because that's what the territory looks like. Let's see if I can get a quick way to Raven Rock. Bear had no idea what was coming after him. This is what I get for using the music to tell me if somebody's hostile. Just giving the Spriggan a little bit of distance because I'd rather not have to fight them 3 times with a short sword. Hat. This is an endurance weapon, not a speed weapon.
Hello, Caius. Are you here on assignment, or did you just stop by? It seems that nothing is easy, Caius. Carnius's replacement supply ship has brought new problems with it, namely one Barrow Ignatius. He seems to think that he deserves extra payment for delivering our supplies and taking the ore back to the mainland. I, for one, have no intention of giving in to him. I've given up trying to reason with him. Why don't you try talking some sense into him?
In what way?
He's the captain of the new supply ship that's arrived. He should be down by the dock. I don't believe that he's budged since he made his demand for extra payment. He's demanding a ridiculous sum of money. I won't even repeat what it is, or else he'll refuse to take any of the ore back to the mainland. This is unacceptable, and something needs to be done about it. I've tried reasoning with him to no avail. I'd like you to talk with him.
All right, well. What's the deal?
Well now, they've finally sent someone to deliver the extra payment I requested. I told them that if I was going to make the trip on top of what Elbroth was doing, it'd cost them. I'm getting tired of waiting.
Who's Elbroth?
He's a friend of mine, not much to look at, and certainly not much of a captain, but he was a hell of a fighter, always brandishing that stupid sword of his. What business of that is yours? Let's talk about the extra payment of mine, shall we?
Yes, let's.
That's right. You see this boat? Doesn't go anywhere until I've got that money in my hands. Your boss already knows what I'm after, and unless you're here to give it to me, I suggest you get lost. Otherwise, you might get hurt. Falco's told me that the new supply ship has arrived, but the captain, Barrow Ignatius, won't budge without some sort of extra payment. Falco has no intention of paying him, and insisted that he wants me to talk some sense into him. He should be at the dock in Raven Rock. Barrow Ignatius was extremely rude to me and demanded a large sum of money to transport the colony's goods. He won't budge until he has this extra payment.
Just in case I really screw this up. Alright. Apparently honey works better.
I like you, I really do, but you're not going to talk me out of it. I want my money, and I want it soon. See, he's completely unreasonable. There must be a way around this, guys. Talk to Aperina. Maybe there's some way to exploit... Apronia. Maybe there's some way to exploit the connection to Elbroth. Barrow knew him, yes? I know nothing of him beyond the name. Perhaps Aperina may know something more, since she was on the ship with him.
Is that the other lady down there? Oh, wait, yeah, sorry, it's the original ship captain.
Well, if it isn't you again, I dare say you're one of the nicest people I met. And that's saying quite a lot.
Can you tell me about Elbroth?
He was completely incompetent as a ship captain. I can tell you that much. Such an odd little Bosmer too. I thought he was the best. Fighter in the province, always waving that sword around. But then the ship crashed and he was injured. For all his talk of being a good fighter, he sure didn't last long against those horrible undead things. I ended up taking his saber and using it to defend myself. About the only thing he ended up being good. Ended up being good for, in my opinion.
Would you be willing to part with it?
It certainly came in handy. Now that I think of it, though, I don't really have much use for it. Here, you take it. It's not like it's worth much of anything, but odds are that you'll more likely find use for it than I ever will.
I will indeed. So we use the saber to run this guy through.
Keep bringing him up, do you? If only he were here, he'd wipe the floor with you. Wouldn't be nearly as gracious as I have. A mean little Bosmer he is. Keep annoying him like this and he'd likely put his saber through your skull. Next time I see him, I'll make a point of mentioning you. Perhaps he'll pay you a visit.
Yeah, about that.
What, you're gonna try and tell me that you have it? Sure, it's easy to talk. A guy like A guy like Elbroth, though, he wouldn't just say he had his saber, he'd show you had it. The guy looking at Elbroth holding his saber, he'd understand things pretty good, or he'd be real sorry.
Alright, fine.
Don't try to intimidate me, you... That sword. It looks like Elbroth's. Is that his saber? How did you... But where... So it's true. He's dead. You don't mean to tell me that you... I mean, you didn't kill him, did you? Okay, listen. Maybe I made a bit of a mistake, alright? How about I just take this ship and deliver the ore? We won't have this sort of problem at all. Just don't hurt me. Look, I'm going now, see?
Greetings to you. A pleasure to meet you.
Daedric weaponry apparently does not faze this guy, but... Alright, I finished doing your henchman duties.
Well done, Caius. Well done. Perhaps things can return to normal.
Can I move up?
Very well. You are now Caius, negotiator of the East Empire Company.
What about more?
The logs from the mines aren't adding up, Caius. Ore is disappearing, and if my hunch is right, Urin Marin is the one making it disappear. Of course, if my hunch is right, we're going to need proof of his theft. I won't reveal where this information came from, but I can tell you that I believe he's hiding the ore in a chest in his house until he can offload it to someone else. I want you to find that chest and get the ore from it. You'll need his key to get into the house. Falco believes that, Falco thanked me for straightening out the situation with Barrow. Falco believes that Urin Marin is stealing ore from the colony mine, and he wants me to bring him proof of the theft. Falco has given me a key to Urin Marin's house. I should look for a locked chest near the bed. The ore should be in it. The chest in Urin Marin's house is empty. What? My information was very reliable. It may be that he was tipped off by someone. I don't claim to have a monopoly on spying here at Raven Rock. Well, if we don't have any evidence, we'll just have to catch him red-handed. He should be in the mine. Follow him and see if he does anything suspicious. Take care not to be seen by anyone, as they could alert him to your presence. Falco has ordered me to follow Urin Marin in the mines to see if he's really stealing. I'm not supposed to be seen by anyone.
Easier said than done. Who that was. I have a feeling this is going to get very silly. I forgot to put the glass sword away.
I followed Urin Marin to the storage room where he has no business being.
I guess that's enough.
You found him where? Well, why haven't you confronted him about it?
Because you told me not to blow it.
Surprise! Caius, what are you doing here? There's a perfectly good explanation for this, I assure you.
Which is?
Yes, you see, I was, well... Okay, fine, you got me. But I swear, I didn't want to do this. Carnius put me up to it. He said he'd kill me if I didn't steal as much ore as I could. Just as I suspected. I didn't want to say anything at the time, but I was relatively sure that Carnius was involved. Well, now that we have a witness, perhaps it's time that we bring the matter to the attention of the investors. I'll see to it that Urine is sequestered in one of the colony's storerooms for now. Go see what Carnius has to say for himself, won't you?
Sure, but I'd like a promotion. Okay, fine.
I informed, Marion confessed to stealing ore from the mines, but says that Carnius put him up to it. I informed Falco that I caught Urine Marion in the mines, and now I need to take the news to Carnius.
I don't think there's an easy way to avoid. Okay, there is one easy way to avoid. I don't know who said that, but that's a great line.
What is it, negotiator? You're going to accuse me of being involved in this? So be it. But I warn you, be very careful with how you handle this, negotiator. It'll be my word against the words of thief. Whom do you think will be believed? Carnius denies having any involvement with Urine's theft and says that Urine Marion will be dealt with.
So, do I get a promotion? What about an assignment? Alright, fine.
Stuff.
I will.
He's found dead shortly after being locked up. Of course, I have no proof that he was murdered, and there are no witnesses. I'm sure that Carnius has something to do with it, but if I can't prove it, I don't dare accuse him of it. At least the thieving problem should stop, for now. You've done good work, Caius. Thank you.
Did I do good work, though?
I don't have anything for you right now. We're concentrating on finishing up the current construction here at the site. Come find me when we're done with it.
Alright, what about, advancement?
Very well. You are now Caius, officer of the East Empire Company.
And the funny thing is, I don't really know what I should be doing with my time right now. I've kind of got my training done. We're apparently waiting for the hunt. And it's 7 in the morning, so it's not like we're gonna be able to... It's not like we're gonna be able to see the blood moon yet. So, I think on that note, we will finish for tonight. Or rather this morning. So thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next week.